Hey, what's up you guys? Today I want to show you a little tutorial about the E46 electric fan conversion. So this is the mechanical fan, and in here we have the electric fan. And today I want to make a video about it as well. There are a lot of videos on the internet on how to do this, but in all the videos I've seen, I missed a thing that I then, discovered. In here, as you can see, is a mesh, and this mesh is only on the automatic E46 platform, not on a manual. And behind this mesh is the radiator. And in all of the videos I've seen, if you remove the auxiliary fan in the front here, well, everyone also removed the shroud. But I think this is nonsense, because this mesh is there for a reason. It kind of protects your radiator, and I don't get why the manual cars didn't have this. So my point of this video is, if you're trying to convert your E46 to having the electric fan, keep this mesh. And in this video, I want to show you everything that needs to be done to achieve this. Also, I should explain why you would actually want to change this to the electrical fan. And reasons may be, well, it's much easier because you don't have to crank this nut open every single time. There's not a lot of space for it in there. And if you have the electric fan, you can simply undo two clips and lift it out. Also, as you can see, there is a blade missing. And these blades, if they break off, in my case it's only one, but sometimes more than one breaks off. And what can happen is that these breaks fly into the radiator, and then, well, you got a punctured radiator. So yeah, there's every reason to change the mechanical fan to the electric fan. So now, let's hop right into the video. Let's start by putting the car up on wood to make it a little easier. Chalk up your wheels. These are the tools you're gonna need. And the special fan clutch tool. We're gonna start this job now by taking out the front snorkel to the airbox by removing these 3 expanding rivets. For this case, pliers are really recommended. After taking the 3 out, you can now pull the snorkel towards you, like you can see here. Next up is the airbox. Take a flathead, unscrew the hose clamp, and disconnect the MAV sensor. Unscrew these 2 10mm bolts. And lift out the entire airbox by pulling it towards you. The next thing you want to do are these 2 connectors. The top one you can just pull out. The lower one is going to be pushed out towards the engine and then stored to the left. Now to get the fan shroud out, you're going to need a T25 and unscrew this screw on the left. And then there's another push pin on the right, which you're going to need your pliers again. In my case, this took a moment. Now you have to remove the fan from the actual water pump. How to do this is going to be not the simplest job. Here I made this ultra low budget picture where you can see where to hold with the tool on the water pump, and then you have to take your wrench and pull to the right, and then you can spin it off like you can see here. Just be careful and catch it when it falls. Now get your brand new secondhand electric fan, and basically how you do it is just that you slide it in like you took out the fan shroud, as the fan and the shroud are one. Also, an important side note, the connector from the auxiliary fan is the same as the electric fan, so that's how it's going to be used. And yes, some of the plastic here broke off, so that's why it wobbles. Now get your T25 screw and the push pin and put them back in. Here's the screw and the push pin back inside. Now connect the sensor on top and slide the other connector back in its little housing. Now the job continues by taking off the front bumper. For this job, you're either going to need an E12 socket or a T50 to get the two balls out of the holes I showed a second ago. A long extension is required as well. There are also a few screws around the bumper you have to remove, one inside the wheel well and two on the bottom on each side. In my case, this one is missing. Now it's time to actually take off the bumper. Remember, there are some horn cables and the fog light cable still attached, so don't rush it. Disconnect those and carefully put the bumper on the floor. You can put your bumper in styrofoam or some soft material to cushion it if you don't want to damage it. Now put the airbox and the snorkel back in if you haven't already done that. And now let's continue down here. Let's remove the front shroud with its 4 push pins. You have to unscrew them and pull them towards you. And then you have to pull on the shroud a little harder towards you and a little upwards, and then you can get it out. Also, these are quite brittle and can easily break. Now to the auxiliary fan, which is secured with 4 nuts. These should be 13 millimeters. Then fiddle with its connector and pull the thing towards you. Now to the main reason for this video. You're gonna see this open space here, and rocks can fly through it technically. So what I'm trying to tell you here is that you keep the shroud inside the car, but remove the fan that is on the shroud. So with these markings, you can see where the screws were. For the fan, it was there with the motor, and sometimes the screw strips, so I had to cut out some plastic, but now it's out, and I would recommend putting the shroud back into the car. For the next clip, just pretend it's there. I actually realized this detail after putting the entire thing back together, so I actually had to take apart the bumper again and the entire front. Now put back the front shroud with the 4 pins. In my case, 1 broke, so this might happen to you as well. But don't worry, 3 are still going to be enough. Now it's at the time to put the bumper back on, so just trace your steps back, take the bumper, lay it right in front, take some styrofoam if you have some, connect the connectors for the horn and the fog lights, and then slide the thing on, and then that's about it. Just don't forget the screws down below, and then you're done and good to go. Thanks for watching, I hope this helped you, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you next time.